All righty, welcome everybody to the training slash product launch on this new product. It's a refresh for most of you guys who've had this product and been selling it before, but this one is really got some big changes. We're going to talk about some real exciting stuff. But my name's Matt Murray. I'm going to be talking about this today. And the one thing for kind of housekeeping is just if you have questions, go ahead and put them into the questions tab. We do have someone monitoring that, so we'll catch them and get them answered as best we can. And feel free to do that too. So if questions come up, definitely ask them. It'll just make it a little bit more productive and help us walk away with some good experience. So what we're going to look at today is the Fresco Cap 4 and the Fresco Cap 9. Specifically, we're going to look at this new software that we've released for this. So one of the things that AVPro has been working on over the last about year and a half is trying to dramatically improve our software and control mechanisms for our products. So we're kind of, we've always been really strong hardware manufacturers, and now we want to kind of add that second layer and get the software really good, which in some products like this particular product, it essentially makes it effectively a new product, really, where you have a whole new subset of customers you can go after. You have a whole new subset of display devices you can use and things like that. So without further ado, I'll start getting into this, and some of this will be refresher, and some will be very, very new. So as far as the hardware goes, they are both 18 gig per second. They work HDMI in, HDMI out. The one thing you need to remember here is if you're going to do Dolby Vision and HDR, you have to go with the Fresco Cap 9. So just remember that if you're doing this specifically in a residential environment where the customer is really wanting to do Dolby Vision and HDR, you want to make sure you get the Cap 9. So that has some different chipsets in it that allow that to work. USB RS-232 and LAN control, so pretty easy to control this and set it up. This is the connection diagram. This is very, very straightforward to install. In fact, this is probably one of the easiest products we sell to actually, hook up. The longest part of doing this product is mounting the TVs on the wall. But basically, you just have your HDMI input. You've got a loop out there that can go over to another device for more displays in the video wall array. And then you have your 9 outputs on this one. If it was the Cap 4, you would have 4 outputs on it. So here's where we get into the new stuff. So there's a whole training on the Fresco Cap 4, Cap 9 on what that, the kind of legacy things it can do. But this is where we're really going to get into the new stuff it can do. So we support many, many, many more layouts. And we've made it extremely simple to do these types of layouts that we'll talk about here. So this is very common. We've seen this done a lot already, like a 1x2, 1x3, 1x4, 1x6, where these TVs are kind of running over top of a bar area or in a restaurant or something of that nature. And when they're not watching football games, they may, switch over and show some content like this. So those are very popular layouts. These layouts, these are pillar style layouts, becoming extremely popular in retail right now, and in other places. If any of you guys are working in Las Vegas, this is something common that you see now as these pillar style video walls, 2x1, 3x1, 4x1. And then obviously our standard layouts, 2x2, 3x3, 4x4, 6x6, as big as you want, and just big cubes, which essentially you're just making a larger 16x9 display. And All right, and then the other thing we can do is we can do what are called mosaic or artistic video walls. And you're going to see how this can be done live with this software that you guys will all have access to even be able to show customers visions of what they could possibly make. So this is an example of an artistic video wall that we can do now. And you want to note that there's many different shapes and size displays here. So they don't even need to be 16:9 displays. You can use for three displays. You can use, you know, like planar displays. You can use displays that are really any size and be able to create this image very, very, very quickly and easily. And then the other thing we can do is we can do a layered wall. So what that means is you've got panels overlapping on each other. And then our software will actually do all of this cropping and organizing for you. So you don't need to know dimensionally what these are. You don't need to do a lot of measuring or anything like that. As long as you can get the panels mounted in physical space how you want them to look, you'll be able to do this. So let's hit a couple features, and then I'm going to walk through the software. So plug and play. This thing is truly plug and play. If you hooked up 4 screens in a standard 2x2 configuration and plugged in the 4 outputs, you would get a video wall on the screen. So it is very plug and play in that sense. And then we're going to go a step deeper and show these more advanced configurations and just how easy those are. So built-in scaling. So what this means is that you can use any original content you want up to 4K. And then if you have multiple displays, which this is actually very common, you may have a 4K display in a video wall array, especially in a mosaic array, and you may have some 1080p displays or some monitors that are smaller, or even down to 720p that that you might want to incorporate into this video wall. And this will actually do the scaling for you per output. So it does the crop and the scale, so it will make it look correct on that image or on that display, no matter what the resolution is. This actually can go down to 480 if that need arises. So remember, that's there too. Has audio de-embedding, and with the coax, you can support up to 6-channel audio. In residential environments, typically what we see is they pull the audio out of the HDMI port, out of the loop out, and then that goes into the AVR. Very flexible on configurations, Dolby Vision and HDR there on the Cap 9. So let's look at a couple. These are real video walls that have been done, and you can see on the top left, you've got one of those pillar style video walls, and we'll do an example of how to make one of those here. And there's a couple of them in this store. On the bottom left here, this is a layered mosaic video wall. So that's something that we will be able to support. And then you have a video wall like this. This is a regular mosaic. And then you have another layered mosaic down here. And what's beautiful is this stuff with this software usually costs a ton of money. These machines are fairly inexpensive. I would say they're very inexpensive for what they do, and we give the software away for free. So you know, you're talking $700 for 4 outputs, and I think it's, you know, $1,400 or $1,500 for 9 outputs with the software to be able to do all of this manipulation, bezel compensation, and everything like that. So you can cascade these. Very easy to do. You just hook your PC into the lead unit, and then you have RS-232 cable linking between the second and the third to create the larger video walls if you want to. So what I want to do now is just run through the software, because that's really the easiest way to demonstrate this. So here's the new software. Some of you may have experience with the old software. It definitely looks a lot different. And we'll just go through and kind of show you how it works. So you can do new projects, you can open existing projects, or you can select from these presets here. So we can do a custom, or we can start with, let's say we want to do, you know what, a 3x1. So it lays out our TVs. We can add a panel here if we want. So now that's going to be 4, and that's I guess what we can do is we can try to make one of those pillar walls like we had on the previous slide there. So let's go through some more of these buttons here. So the columns, you can click columns, and then you can add columns, obviously, and all you're doing right here is setting up your you're just setting up your amount of panels. So this is how they'll appear in space momentarily on the next screen, but this isn't necessarily how things are going to be set permanently when we make changes. So TV manufacturers, we've added a whole bunch of them in here. So you've got a whole bunch of Samsungs, you've got a bunch of LGs. So bezel compensation is already done for you on most panels. And if you wanted to add a panel of your own that's not in the list yet, which there's hundreds of them in these listings now, you basically can just add it in right here, and then you have, it adds it into your software. So if you're using this for multiple jobs and this is a software that you use and you do multiple projects, those panels will all be in here. So so that's this page, and then what we're going to do is we're going to generate the new layout. So you can see there I got one panel that's smaller than the other because I changed it. So let me change that one back, actually, just because the first demo I want to show you here is with the same ones. $55 VM, all right. So there we go. All right. So now we have this pillar style video wall. So what you can do is, well, first thing we're going to do is choose some different image so we can see real imagery. There's some different patterns in here for you to select from. Geometry. This is a HD 1920 by 1080 pattern. This is a 240 geometry pattern. If you're dealing with a video wall with widescreen content, you can have a reference here for that. But we also have the ability to customize. And what I can do is it basically pulls open, and I can pull up an image, or I can pull up original content if I want to. So you can see it generated automatically the video wall in this condition. And then, if I want to, I can just move these panels over. And right now I'm just doing it with my mouse or my keyboard. But I can also just click it and move it wherever I want here. So if I want to move it over, so the area where they're capturing is over here, I can do that. So on the left-hand side, you have how is the wall built in physical space, and then on the right-hand side, you have what part of that image am I capturing. So you can really do some unique things with this, and as you can see, kind of make changes on the fly. So and let's just do something a little different. So I'll do an example of a Mosaic video wall, and let's actually add another panel here, and let's make a couple of them just different, so they're different size. No idea what these panels are, but we're going to find out. That looks like a 55, so maybe something else. Let's generate. All right, so there we've got some different size panels going here. And you can see that the bezel compensation is built in. But here's an example of how smart this software is. So I can set these up and kind of layer them up if I want to. I can have this one down here. I could put this one down here. And if I hit sync left to right, you see what it does? It optimizes the panel positioning based on the size of each panel across the 16:9 image. So the integrator doesn't even have to really know this math at all. If they can get the panels positioned in space physically, this software will allow them to do whatever they want. So, you know, and just by the click of a button, I can move these panels around and say they're in space like this. I can do sync left to right and see it captures that subset of the image. And I can also, you know, take these and I can make them smaller, and I can crop them, and I can do some things, you know, to really get some customization if I want to, or if I'm trying to get, you know, a full football game squeezed into somewhere, I can do that. So let's just regenerate that. So this is how it comes out right now. But again, you know, move these panels however I want them. This is where I physically placed them. Something like that, and then it will center everything up for you. So you can change the scenery. So we'll look at like a mountain scene. So you can, you know, maybe you want to look at the top part of the mountain. You can kind of arrange these differently. So let's make it the width a little wider. So I can go a little wider here. So a little layered kind of video wall, sync left to right. Then you can see how it kind of lines them up. And I can raise them if I want to raise them. So really it's I mean, it's totally limited in what you can do here with this software. Makes it extremely easy to do. Let me see here. Yes, this will get uploaded onto YouTube for sure. And actually, there's a better training than this one too that we have that we're working on too, so that it'll have really clear instructions on how exactly to do this. But one thing for all you guys that are reps and distributors on here, this is a really nice piece to actually show customers. If you can get familiar with using this software, it's actually a sales tool, and it's even a sales tool to the end user. So you walk into a business or a restaurant or something like that, and if you can actually show them what you're able to do, oftentimes I think it will help you close deals, because you can envision how this is going to look in real life with the software. So couple of other little things. So notice I'm not connected to a unit. We made that intentional so that you could take this and use this as a sales tool. So that is that's done on purpose. And then the other thing you can do when you are connected, let's see if there's one in the building here. Nope, there isn't one in the building hooked up right now. So when you are connected, it does give you the option to route your HDMI inputs differently. So that was kind of a complaint on the original product, was if it did get accidentally hooked up wrong, you had to pull the TVs down or get behind them or go into the rack and try to flip these cables around and stuff. A little bit tedious, you know, not a huge deal, but this software allows you to just change them. So you can say, oh yeah, you know, 1 is on the top left, but 3 is on the top right. So, or 4 is on the top right, or whatever, you know, whatever you want to do there. So, so that's it on this particular product. So, you know, and that's kind of what we want the takeaway to be is you know, in less than 20 minutes, really, this product is a game changer versus what it was before. So I really do predict that this is going to get into a lot of homes. You guys as the reps and distributors, just so you kind of know what the roadmap on this is this is on the Fresco Cap 4 Cap 9 right now. This same layout software is getting added into the MXNet Mentor ecosystem too. So the Mentor Video Wall setup utility will be exactly the same. This will be rolling out in the Axion X chassis product as well as any other new things that come out with Video Wall. So you'll start seeing a lot more of this. Video wall projects are growing by the minute, so if you're not trying to find those projects, I recommend you do. And let me just check and see if there's anything else we need to hit on. Display monitor measuring parameters. This is good intel. Just make sure you always measure the visible area when you're calculating your bezel. So some TVs now have like extra black area between where the pixel density ends and the bezel begins. So you just want to make sure you account for that in your measurement. Couple more slides on here about how you can set up these video walls. This is where I was talking about where you can change what output goes to what screen, right over here. And you can see our system log down here. This is from a live system, so we are getting some information logs coming here. You'll start seeing that more and more as well. Input EDIT settings, system logger new feature, and then also if we really want to get into the woods, we think that we've exposed everything in the software that someone will need, but we do still have the full API that's out there if anybody were to need it. So yep, that's all I have for this one. Does anybody have any questions on this product? Let me see. Own content. So here, let me read this question. Oh, yep. Let me go back to the software. So I got some questions coming in here. 1 second. So what you need to do to flip these upside down is, let's do a new project. I'm just going to do a 2x2 just to keep it simple. Generate that. So all I need to do to rotate these is go 180. So then see, that flips it upside down. You just right click, hit 180 degrees, it flips the panel upside down. Just with this another click, I can flip it back over. So yes, it can do the 180 degree flipping, and the MXNet, once this comes out for MXNet, that's going to be able to do 90 degree rotation on that one. 1 second here. Yes, so Damien asked if we can upload pictures, and yeah, so I have we've got the preloaded images in here, some ISF patterns, but yes, you can customize and load up whatever you want. So we're working to getting that to where it can actually be the live video content, but we're not there yet. But for now, what you can do is load this up as a still image with some of the customer's original content so they can have an idea. All right, that's all I got, guys. So you guys have a good day, and let us know if any questions come up. But I really do hope that this helps get some more of these out the door. I think it will, and let us know if you need sales support or anything on this. We'll be on it.